Hey guys, so before we get into today's video, I just want to talk about where I've been over the last week. Sorry I didn't upload anything. I got addicted to Counter-Strike because my friends kept baiting me by saying, "Try it bro, I reckon you'll be good at it," or "Try it bro, it's pretty fun." That may not sound as baity, yes baity is a word now, but they just really wanted me to try it, and I gotta say, it's so much fun to play. Though it would take me hours and hours to get good at it, I decided to stop playing and play FPSs I already know how to play, so I don't gotta go through the learning process and focus on vids. I've also been playing Skyrim for the 20th time. Imagine playing Skyrim in 2020, like what are you doing, Pepsilk? Just because I wanted to continue my modded Battle Mage playthrough. I just needed a break from editing and making videos for a while, but now I'm back into the groove and ready to do more for you guys. Okay, that's an unreview me finish. Now roll the intro. Hello everyone, my name is Pepsilk and welcome to Thoughts On. This is a series where I analyze games and give my opinions on them. Today, we'll be looking at the surprise TV show video game, South Park: The Stick of Truth. The Stick of Truth is a 2.5 dimensional RPG, developed by Obsidian Entertainment in collaboration with South Park Digital Studios, and published by Ubisoft on March 4, 2014. The original creators, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, approached Obsidian and wanted to create a game that was just like the television series. As with the show, they wrote the script, drew the designs, and voiced many of the characters. Development started in 2009 and was scheduled to release in March 2013, but was delayed due to THQ's bankruptcy, as they were the original publisher for the game before it was passed to Ubisoft. The first cutscene introduces the theme of the game that the kids are playing, as well as highlight the Stick of Truth, an item of great power. He who controls the stick controls the universe, granting the user the power to do anything they want. The humans are fighting against the elves in the land of Zaron for the power of the stick. The humans hear of a prodigy that can save the world and ensure the human success of protecting the stick from elven hands, and the Wizard King sets to seek him out. It's a Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings kind of theme, as they use the costumes from South Park's Lord of the Rings episode.
For whomever controls the stick, controls the universe.
You play as the new kid, a regular person who has just moved into South Park, Colorado with your parents, hoping for a fresh start.
Why we moved to this quiet little mountain town?
He doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember at all.
That's good he doesn't remember.
Sweetie, we want you to have lots of fun here. Why don't you go out and make some friends?
From the moment you leave the house, you are greeted by Paladin Butters, who tells you to head to Cooper Keep.
I live right next door to you. We should be friends. Now that we're friends, you should speak with the Wizard King. He's been talking about your arrival. The wizard lives this way, in the greenhouse, over there.
Here, the Wizard King will once again describe what the Stick of Truth is and who you're protecting it from. After you receive your first class, you'll go on an epic journey, fighting elves, dealing with Nazi zombies, abortions, and more. I'll come back to this and elaborate on the enemies more throughout the video. I don't want to spoil the whole story because I think the game should be experienced from top to bottom with no big spoilers, as the crude humor and jokes will be funnier that way. Just a quick disclaimer before I get into the other sections. There will be minor spoilers, mainly some cutscenes, but I'm going to try and keep it as spoiler free as possible, so it will be more so gameplay than anything else. Man oh man did Metatrade do a great job here. As stated before, most of the characters are voiced by the creators, but also bringing the voice actors from the show on board as well. Characters in the Stick of Truth is all fan service, as many of the show's beloved characters are in the game, excluding all the kids of course, from Chef,
I'm gonna make love to you, woman.
to Mr. Slave, the Underpants Gnomes,
Goddamn Mongolians.
and many more. Each character has their own personality and plays a part in the entire game, whether it be gathering a faction to help in the final fight, or friending them on the fictional Facebook, a network that plays a big part in the gameplay.
Mongolian beef so good. Oh, I just love it. Oh, hello, Mongolian.
Before I get into the nitty gritty, I just want to quickly highlight the enemy variety in this game, because it pretty much changes in almost every set piece throughout, making the game feel fresh and enjoyable. From dire wolves and bears to hobos, Nazi zombies, elves, secret servers, and army soldiers, each enemy type has their own moves and status effects. Now onto the good stuff. At the beginning of the game, you can customize your character's looks and ethnicity. Their ethnicity will affect your parents' looks, though it doesn't elaborate or show you a preview of what they could look like before you finish creating. Once you're welcomed into Cooper Keep, Cartman asks to say your name. Regardless of what you name the new kid, and what you agree with after you've told him the truth, Cartman will end up calling you douchebag, and it will stay that way for the entire game. Soon after, you will be able to choose from one of the 4 archetypes. I'll let Cartman explain to you.
Mage is like a wizard, only not as cool. A fighter has courage, honor, and the ability to kick fucking ass. A mage is like a wizard. You look sneaky enough to be a thief. Jew, huh? So I guess we'll never really be friends.
I picked the Jew, which specializes in Jiu-Jitsu and long-range attacks. Fighters specialize in melee weapons and strength, thieves focus on dodging and attacking enemies from behind, and mages use magic. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now onto combat. It's a simplified turn-based system, with a radio menu showing an array of tactical choices, such as basic attacks, special abilities, magic, support items, and the ability to summon powerful allies, if you have it available. Special abilities vary off your chosen class, and weapon attacks depend on what strap-ons come with it, which I'll get to in just a moment. You'll always be accompanied by a buddy, which there are 6 to choose from. These include Cartman, Kyle, Stan, Kenny, Butters, and Jimmy, each providing their own special abilities and attacks. My favourite will have to be Cartman for sure, as his abilities include firefighting on people, lighting people on fire with a flammable cannon lighter, and coming up with stupid words to electrocute someone. The fart fire is definitely my favourite move. Classic Eric Cartman.
Fuck me! Shit-faced, veiny boner, dick-face, shriveled asshole, hairy bomb, bullcrap, whore, bastard!
Other elements of the combat system include status effects, such as fire, freezing, and grossing out, which makes the player vomit, requiring power points, or PP for short, to use special abilities, blocking attacks, and armor, which is easily the most annoying thing on this game if you don't have anything that can reduce armor, because enemies can be freaking tanks if not dealt with accordingly. If we head over to our social page here, you'll see that there's 8 sections. Your About Me, Home, Inventory, Abilities, Quests, Map, Collectibles, and Party. Some are pretty straightforward, some aren't, but I'm going to explain what all of them are anyway. Your About Me pretty much shows your personal information, as well as your net worth. It also shows how many friends you have. The Home section shows all of your friends' posts and people who liked it. Always good to check this every now and then for some banters and jokes between the characters. The Inventory shows your currently equipped gear. Now, gear includes your melee and ranged weapons, head, body, and hand armor pieces, as well as consumables, junk, hair, eyewear, makeup, and facial hair that you can change at any time throughout the game. Junk is collected from chests and bodies, which could be sold at any merchant in town. Consumables and everything else I said? Same thing. Back to the strap-ons. These are weapon and armor upgrades that can be found throughout South Park, and can be unequipped at any time, so you can put on new gear that you find from your adventures. Some examples include increasing attack damage, regaining HP after attacking, adding elemental damage and ignoring armor. It changes up gameplay and keeps combat feeling fresher, allowing the player to experiment and pick what setups they want to use for different fights. Abilities show what skills your character archetype offers, providing a nice description of what the skill does and what you get when you upgrade it. Upgrades are obtained by leveling up your character. XP is earned from killing enemies and completing quests. You only get 14 skill points, so choose what you want to upgrade wisely. Perks are passive bonuses that are obtained by making friends. When you reach a certain number of friends, you are given a perk point, which you can spend on whatever perk you'd like. Lastly, we have magic, fighting spells which are acquired throughout the game. These can be either used in combat or during exploration. Dragon Shout or Cuppa spell are used to create fiery explosions, clearing paths for the player.
Hey, Sir Douchebag, up here.
Sneaky Squeaker distracts enemies by steering them toward a direction, and Nagasaki is used to open areas that are marked with a green color. The Quests tab shows you active and completed quests. If you complete on the objective in the active quest, it will open up the map, showing where the quest is if it has a marker. Some quests on this game you'll have to find yourself. The map brings up all of South Park, recreated in its full beauty. You can toggle between quests and treasure, which gives you assorted loot, from outfits to support items and junk. Collectibles shows all your friends, your outfits, and quest items. Lastly, there's the party, where you can switch between companions on the fly. You'll need to do it for some situations throughout the game to make use of their buddy command.
Oh, wow. Boobies. Must have. Must touch. Boobies. Oh.
Now let's talk exploration. Throughout the game, you'll be completing quests and collecting new items that will allow you to go to places you couldn't previously. You get to use your body command, shoot at objects in order to open a path or be rid of someone before you get into that fight, which is a nice touch by the way, as getting rid of extra enemies makes fights easier. Using an alien probe to teleport to locations, and shrieking yourself with gnome dust to head into very tiny spaces. You'll be using all of these throughout the main story, but are not forgotten once completed, if you wish to collect the rest of the outfits and... Making friends is another thing to do outside of the story too, as some can grant you special summons, which can only be used once, as well as give you more perk points. Questing in the Stick of Truth is also very simple, with main and side quests. The side quests are interestingly funny and great to play through, with good moments that I don't want to spoil. There isn't any companion or faction quests that have you make big gaming decisions, and I feel that Obsidian and the creators could have made the factions have a bit more impact to them instead of just recruiting them and then knowing that they've joined your cause. There is a moment when you get to pick between the elves and humans, but it ultimately doesn't matter, as the same cutscenes and story plays. It's fairly linear, and Obsidian don't take any risks to make the game more meaningful in your decision making, despite the story still being great. I just want to say that this game is entirely fan service. I can't think of certain situations where it would just be for a certain part, or a reference to an old episode, because it's got it all. From the whole town being created, to your party's abilities, and well-known episodes being shown in snippets, it's hard denying that there isn't one thing in this game where it wouldn't be considered fan service. I commend South Park Digital Studios for keeping South Park, not changing anything from the show, or adding some new buildings.
Map. And now I'm going to make you my friend on Facebook.
The Stick of Truth has heaps of crude humor that will satisfy all kinds of folk. Seeing that every person will have different senses of humor, your experience may vary from laughing the whole way to only laughing at certain points. I didn't laugh at every moment, but most of it was enough for me to die on the inside. Just listen to Jimmy's speech impediment.
Sir, we are elven warriors of the forest. I understand you might have a flute for sale.
You want to buy the flute?
It just so happens I'm a level 10 bard, and a flute is just what I need to play magical songs of enchantment. Magical songs of A flute is just what I need to play. A flute is just what I need to play magical songs of enchantment. Magical songs of enchantment. A flute is just what I need to play magical songs of enchantment. Take it from me if you can, Wizard King. Step forward now and fulfill your 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 destiny.
I died every time his impediment will come up in a cutscene. Another one was when you're about to head into the final fight, and while they're talking in Lord of the Rings style, Kevin slowly breathes out his inner Star Trek and says this:
Let us charge our shields and use photon torpedoes to vaporize the Klingons.
Kevin, god damn it. Every fucking time, Kevin. God fucking damn it, seriously.
I'm sorry.
The humor is spot on, just like the show, and I guarantee you that even if you don't have a good sense of humor, you'll find a laugh somewhere. With the help of South Park Digital Studios, Obsidian created the entirety of South Park, with it being modeled as a building design when you open up the map, since it's put into 3 levels. They made sure that the town was exactly like the TV show, with well-known buildings and houses placed accordingly. They even designed Canada to look like a freaking 8-bit city. That's awesome. I'd mentioned the graphics, but the best way to describe the Stick of Truth is that it's a full-length episode of South Park, and you're in it, instead of watching. Another thing that I like to mention is censorship. In Australia, the abortion and alien probe scenes, correct me if I missed another one, were removed and instead replaced with crying koalas, alongside a description of what we could have experienced. In Germany, they removed all the Nazi sequences as it is deemed illegal over there. Europe, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Taiwan had the same scenes removed as well. Each country has its own censorship screen, so that's cool. Europe's one is a statue putting his hand over his head. The soundtrack for this game is pretty good to say the least. It fits with the theme of the game, combat sounds are nice, and just the overall sounds are good. Nothing to really talk about here, maybe except for the Lemmy song. Still one of my favorite South Park songs to this day.
Road ahead is full of danger and fright, but push onward, new kid, with all of your might. New kid, new kid, new kid, new kid.
Compared to Obsidian's previous titles, South Park The Stick of Truth is a simplified RPG, designed so that anyone can easily get into the game. With its rich story, crude humor, and combat, it has something for everyone. Its short length of 8 to 10 hours for the story alone, and 20 for those who want to complete it, make it worth the money, but not at its current price. I bought the game for about $4.33 AUD on a sale. Get the game when it's on sale, guys. Its current price of $45 is not worth it in my opinion, considering the amount of content you get with it. Overall, I enjoyed this game, and will probably replay it again just to try another class and hear the jokes once again, before going on a hiatus to play it a year later. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like the video. If I missed anything, comment down below, subscribe for more, and I'll have more coming to you soon. Peace.